Week 4 of the Diddy trial has officially begun, and reports suggest that Justin Bieber is finally speaking out. Cassie's recent testimony mentioned Usher, stating that he witnessed troubling incidents without intervening. Allegedly, Usher even helped Diddy cover things up in the past. Now Justin is stepping forward, ready to tell his side and shed light on those who stood by silently.
Says she wasn't alone in witnessing Sean Diddy Combs' abuse. During her second day of testimony in the music mogul's federal trial, the 41-year-old described an alleged 2010 incident of Combs punching then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura at a West Hollywood, California restaurant and said Usher was also a witness to the event. During her testimony May 19th per NBC News, which had a reporter in the courtroom, she said, quote, Mr. Combs punched Cassie in the stomach. They were having a private conversation and then he punched her in the stomach. She immediately leaned over and left. In addition to Usher, Richard, who is a member of the girl group Danity Kane, which was formed on Combs' show Making the Band in 2004, alleged that other musicians, including singer Neo, record exec Jimmy Iovine, and rapper Big Daddy Kane were present as well. When Richard and Ventura got into a car to leave after the alleged restaurant incident, Richard said another physical altercation took place between Combs, who has pleaded not guilty to all charges, and his then-girlfriend. She continues in her testimony, quote, we got in the car to head back to her house. Combs grabbed her, slapped her, popped her in the mouth, and told her to shut the f*** up. Everyone.
New evidence from the trial is being made public. A statement from Justin Bieber's team suggests he's addressing the pain caused behind the scenes. Sources claim Justin is one of several unnamed individuals who may testify in court. His message supports the victims and hints that much more remains to be uncovered. According to reports, Justin's past with Diddy and Usher is central to his decision to speak out now.
Justin Bieber breaking his silence on the ordeal after months of speculation over their one-time relationship. His rep telling ET, although Justin is not among Sean Combs' victims, there are individuals who were genuinely harmed by him. Shifting focus away from this reality detracts from the justice these victims rightfully deserve. Bieber's questionable connection to Diddy piquing interest online as the rap mogul's indictment for trafficking and racketeering charges, which he denies, made headlines. Old clips of the two hanging out while Justin was underage resurfacing.
Hey, let's just go get some girls. Let's go get some girls.
Man after my heart, that's what I'm talking about.
We hit him like this, so me and you walking, we hanging out, a little later on the night after the Usher concert.
There's also this old Jimmy Kimmel Live segment, adding to fan fears about what might have gone down with Diddy.
Got me a Lamborghini.
Oh, well, that's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last
He
time.
had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Oh, apparently not.
Everything ain't for everybody.
This all comes as Bieber's followers are worried for him, the singer's erratic social media posts causing concern week after week, the Beliebers asking if what he's seen behind the scenes of the industry.
I'm begging you, Robert.
Yeah, no, I mean, to a lot of us, he's like a little brother. You know what I'm saying? He's not afraid to call and ask for advice. He's somebody that, in the industry-wise, the record industry is a strong family, and he's somebody that, we definitely have our arms around, and we want to protect him because he's such genuinely a nice person besides his talent. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the greatest kids that you could ever know.
Justin, Diddy bought his son a Bentley. Maybe, he could buy you one also while you're out.
Got me a Lamborghini.
Oh, well, that's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last
He
time.
had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television. What's up, man? You good?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, young brother, everything's good? Selling out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But you never really got my number, so.
Right. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah.
It's 55.
Care about, guys. What do you know? It's money. You don't care about people. Only money. Only money. No people. You don't care about human beings. Go. Go. Go.
Shockingly, Diddy is not the only celebrity being mentioned in this case. Names like Kanye West, T.D. Jakes, and Ashton Kutcher have surfaced in connection with the ongoing investigation. Many believe this situation runs deeper than expected, involving years of secrets. Those who previously tried to raise concerns reportedly faced tragic outcomes, which is adding more mystery and concern around this trial.
That's why Michael B. Jordan, Kanye West, and more celebrities were name-dropped at Sean Diddy Combs' trial. As jury selection in the mogul's sex trafficking trial got underway May 5th in New York, NBC News reports prospective jurors were shown a list of more than 100 names of people and places that may be referenced during the trial, including actors Michael B. Jordan, Mike Myers, and rapper Kanye West. While the aforementioned celebrities are not implicated in the case, the potential jurors were asked whether they knew any of the names listed and whether it would impact their ability to be impartial, per the outlet. Attorneys did not share an explanation for the list. The names of women who have taken legal action against Combs were also on the list, including his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura, whose November 2023 sexual lawsuit against the rapper was settled one day after it was filed. Danity Kane alum Don Richard, who accused Combs of sexual assault in a lawsuit filed in September, was also listed. Combs has denied any wrongdoing in both cases.
In the days leading up to the trial, Diddy allegedly tried to intimidate those he believed might speak out, including Justin Bieber. Reports have suggested that Justin's mental health took a hit due to mounting pressure and fear. Leaked footage showed him in emotional distress, further hinting at the toll this ordeal has taken on him over the years.
I think he's coming back out and it's all said.
I'm scared that
I'm sorry for real, Jonathan. Oh my God, I thought they got me.
Yeah, honestly.
Justin Bieber's rep is breaking their silence on recent rumors regarding drug use. A rep for the singer, who shares 6-month-old son Jack Blues Bieber with wife Hailey Bieber, is firing back at recent claims that Justin has been using hard drugs. His rep tells TMZ on February 23rd that it's, quote, absolutely not true. His team adds that it's been a very transformative year for Justin as he, quote, ended several close friendships and business relationships that no longer served him. As Justin's 31st birthday approaches on March 1st, he's focused on his family and his music, not speculation about his health, which his rep calls, quote, exhausting and pitiful, and shows that despite the obvious truth, people are committed to keeping negative, salacious, harmful narratives alive.
Justin's past struggles with substance use have long been discussed in the media. According to actor Terrence Howard, many young artists dealing with trauma often turn to unhealthy coping methods. Justin once opened up in an interview about wanting to protect younger stars like Billie Eilish. His warnings reflect what he experienced and what he believes others failed to prevent.
I get it. So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did. No matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal. And what we were brought in here is men. We produce 1,500 sperm per heartbeat for a reason, because the aggression is necessary. You don't trade that in, no matter what.
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second. So yeah, it's hard because I want her to know that, you know, she can count on me. But at the end of the day, I'm never going to force myself to be in relationship with her. It has to be natural, right? So I just kind of, you know, let her do her thing. And if she ever needs me, I'm going to be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments because people take for granted encounters and yeah. So yeah, I just want to protect her, you know. I don't want her to lose it. I don't want her to, you know, go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. So yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call away.
One of the most disturbing parts of this story is how much access Diddy was given to young talent. Reports claim Usher introduced Justin to Diddy, unknowingly setting off events that left lasting emotional scars. This connection is now being reevaluated as the trial digs deeper into how so many red flags were ignored.
They wouldn't let him. Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler. Does that sound like a good guy?
It's horrible.
Does that sound like a good guy? Now that we know what Diddy's really like, what kind of f***ing asshole do you gotta be to take another boy, another talented boy, and put him in your place so it ain't gotta be you no more? Because that's what pedophiles do. They get victims, and then once they get to a certain age and they get too old for them to enjoy them, they send them out to go get other young kids. Now, if Usher is a procurer, and if Usher knew what was going to happen to any of those young children that he took to the Flavor Freak off, is he a good guy? Especially considering what happened to him, especially considering that he sat Howard Stern, and Howard Stern said, would you send your kids to Puffy's Flavor Camp? And his immediate response was, hell no! So it's good enough for everybody else's kids, but it's not good enough for yours.
As a result of past events, Justin has completely distanced himself from Usher. In past legal statements, he referred to Usher as one of the most damaging influences in his life. He even declined to join Usher during a major performance, signaling a clear break from someone once seen as a mentor.
You get career. Do you know Raymond Usher the Fourth?
No.
Do you know an individual entertainer by the name of Usher?
Yeah, Usher. That sounds familiar.
Isn't it true that Usher was instrumental in starting your career?
What does that have to do with this litigation, Mr. DeKalb? This is just you trying to harass the client.
Before we came back here, you would ask me.
She's going to
let her read back the question. Thank you for your memory.
Is it true that Usher was very instrumental in starting your career?
I was found on YouTube. I think that I was detrimental to my own career.
Justin Bieber is continuing the purge. He has now moved to unfollow Usher, okay, his original mentor. So this is a very big story. And the reason why we should discuss this and we should not diminish what is happening, it's not celebrity drama. This is actually the fall of Babylon that we are witnessing, Hollywood Babylon, that is. Of course, many people, I believe, are accurately assuming that this has something to do. One element has to do with the Diddy lawsuit. A lot of revelations were made in the Diddy lawsuit. So I'm going to start this by saying allegedly. Okay, obviously, he has not yet been convicted of everything, but I knew that he was going to get arrested because after reading through this lawsuit, there were just so many pictures, way too many descriptions. He had hours of video footage proving his claims. I'm referring to the person who initially filed this, Rodney Lil Rod, a producer who went into great detail, laborious effort to basically describe almost a homosexual ring in which people were being drugged at various Diddy parties. But he describes how essentially him being a young producer, they tried to initiate him into homosexuality. And I'm going to read this directly from a lawsuit. It says, quote, Mr. Combs, that's Diddy, used access to Stevie J and his knowledge that the producer, Mr. Jones, admired Stevie J to groom and enticed Mr. Jones to engage in homosexuality. But then there's a footnote in the filing, right? Because the names are redacted. And in the footnote, it reads that regarding the R&B singer that Diddy allegedly slept with, he performed at the Super Bowl and had a successful Vegas residency. So this let people know that very clearly the name that was redacted had to have been Usher, because it was Usher who recently performed at the Super Bowl, and it was Usher at the time of this filing who had just had a very successful Vegas.
Justin's fallout with Usher became even more visible when Usher appeared to make light of a private incident involving Justin during his youth. Many fans felt this moment highlighted how little support Justin received from those closest to him at the time.
Have him come to audition for you, right?
Actually, with a few people. My wife at the time.
Right.
It also was Perry Reed, L.A. Reid's first wife.
So you were all sitting in a room
We
somewhere?
were in a room.
Yeah.
And I showed her the video. And Perry says, "Are you crazy? You better get down there and meet this kid right now. He's amazing."
When all these pics come out and all this stuff with Bieber's big penis, are you the mastermind behind that? Say, listen, show off your big penis when people come to those concerts. Or are you sitting there?
Is that the kind of managing he's doing?
Usher, are you sitting down with him and saying, yeah, show your cock, or leave it in your pants? I mean, do you sit him down and say, look, part of this is PR,
Hey,
man.
by the way, he does have a brain of his own.
Yeah, but were you shocked at the size of his penis?
Hey, listen, he
Yeah.
has a mind of his own. What he chose to do with his penis is his prerogative. He's managing that aspect of his life.
But Usher is somebody...
I have nothing to do with Justin Bieber's private parts, man.
Sources claim Justin stayed silent for years because he believed nothing would change even if he spoke up. Others who came forward before him allegedly saw their evidence disappear or their claims ignored. For example, Kid Cudi once reported a serious incident involving Diddy, but authorities were unable to take it further after crucial evidence went missing.
Is adjourned today in this trafficking and racketeering trial of Sean Diddy Combs. Today, the defense requested a mistrial following testimony from an LA arson investigator, but the judge denied the request. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
A mistrial request denied in the federal criminal trial of Sean Diddy Combs. His defense team accusing the government of prosecutorial misconduct during the testimony of a Los Angeles arson investigator who spoke about fingerprints that were lifted from the front door of rapper Kid Cudi's home as part of an investigation into a break-in there in 2011. The investigator testifying that those fingerprints were destroyed, and when prosecutors asked the investigator if that was unusual, the defense accused them of trying to plant the idea that Combs was responsible.
The overall implication, according to the defense, is that somehow Sean Combs created that disappearance. The defense moved for a mistrial, and they moved for it because what they said is that it's unduly prejudiced, because this is the whole theory of what the prosecution is putting forth, is that he has this control and can make these investigations disappear.
Instead, the judge striking that part of the testimony, telling jurors to disregard it. Right before, the jury heard from a police officer who responded to that break-in, testifying that he saw a black Escalade leaving the scene with plates registered to Combs' company Bad Boy Productions. The arson investigator also testifying about another incident at Kid Cudi's home in 2012 when his Porsche was set on fire. He testified about the smoke and fire damage in these photos that were shown to the jury and said he determined the fire was targeted and started with a Molotov cocktail. Kid Cudi last week testified he believed Combs was responsible for both incidents after finding out he was dating Cassie Ventura.
Shocking new testimony reveals that even after authorities raided his home, Diddy allegedly continued questionable behavior. In court, an agent described finding him in a hotel with cash and items indicating ongoing misconduct. This testimony paints a troubling picture of someone operating without fear of consequences.
Find them on the 6051 form. What was found in the closet? They then show a picture to the jury, and it was plastic bags full of Johnson & Johnson baby oil and Astroglide bottles. And you're telling me Diddy is still doing this, knowing that they have already raided his house, knowing that they are about to blow down on him? What was found in the bathroom? Several bottles of baby oil, and they show that picture to the jury. Now the bedroom. What was found in the Louis Vuitton bag? Medication in the name of Frank Black. That is the name that Cassie Ventura said Diddy used as an alias. And what was the medicine? Bags of pink powder found in the medicine bottles. And then they showed a picture to the jury of it being found and tested by Customs and Border Patrol. Reading from the slip where they tested it from, the pink powder was found to be K and MDMA in the bottle. And then they actually passed around the physical evidence to the jury. What was found in the black mini backpack? 9,000.
For years, many in the industry stood by Diddy, shielding him from serious consequences. Now, the silence is breaking. Justin Bieber's decision to come forward may be a turning point in the case. With each day in court, more names and details emerge.